And let me show you some examples in China, how this kind of change could be a new kind of force, like the four elemental forces in our physical world. We actually have the meme linked with the real world to drive the real world. That's very significant, change because of the network. This guy is called Amoist in Twitter. You can find him, on Twitter. He has over 10,000 followers today. Why? Because he was detained in 2009, the July of 2009, by his local police station. And the guy, who is a blogger, joined my Chinese blogger conference, the previous year. One morning in 4 a.m., his tweet showed that he is in a very emergent situation because he tweeted in English that day, said that he was detained by the local police station and SOS. So the guy was noticed by the Chinese bloggers, his followers. He has only 400 followers at that moment. And then this message, we track the message, afterward, along the curve. Is the how many volume of messages, buzzed over this message, over this person. And after SOS, the midday of July 16th, because I'm the follower of him, I sent out a message in a joking way. Peter Guo, his name is Peter, your mom called you back for dinner. It's not like chatting something, very trivial, say, come back to Peter. No, I just joke it, your mom called you back, so we all hope you're back, like this. And then we see booming, retweets. And after another day, when it dropped again, some other people retweeted again. So the message keep, warming along the wave. And then the other day, I forgot the exact date, we can check back. Another guy, found an idea. He said that, he tweeted that, let's send postcard to the police station to push them to release the guy. The guy was detained because he published some video online trying to help a dead girl, to be justified. Because her mom asked him to post this video to say that some gangsters raped her daughter to death. When he published that, he was detained. It's something happens often in China. And that's why most people, think it's not really fair to him, and then send postcard. After another week, hundreds of postcards sent to the police station, a very small police station, with the name of Peter Gore. So people share their postcard photos before they're sending out via the traditional post office, those path. Then after 2 weeks, the guy was released. This is a briefing of the story. I want to share this story because I want to say that a person's story, traditionally in China, could be ignored by the society. It's a very simple case, actually. He's not a famous person. He's not a figure that could cause people, really care about it because the traditional media is totally controlled by the authority. But we see through people's connections and their sentiment connections. The right one is a very famous artist in China called Ai Weiwei. He is now in detention in Beijing for almost 50 days. no clear charging, but he was detained. Just detained because of he outspeaking all the time in the past 2 years by using Twitter. He tweeted everything about the social problems, about how those authorities, abuse their authorities, those corruptions, those disasters, generated by those abuse of power by local authorities. Then the government, disliked him. And now we are seeing a lot of people around the world supporting him. Like in the website called change.org, thousands of people, gathering there to show petitions to release the artist. This guy is another story. His name is Feng, Mr. Feng. In 2009, he was stuck in Narita Airport in Tokyo. He holds the Chinese passport. He's the very legal Chinese citizen, but the China government, the Shanghai authority, doesn't like him, so they don't allow him to go back China to generate troubles. They can't. And the guy started to stay in Narita Hotel in the limo area, between the custom and the gate of the plane. He set up a booth there, showing his stories. He didn't physically get people's support too much that moment. However, he started to using Twitter. From the second week of his stucking in the airport, he tweet everything, everyday life, how he, gets support from people, food sending, how those attendants, from airlines, take some stuff to him to support his life because nobody know any shops there that he can access in the limo area. He cannot sustain his life too much because of this kind of situation. But people started to notice him from the internet, from social media. Then people fly to the Narita airport, group by group, to send him stuffs. After 92 days, the China government compromised to let him in. He's now staying in Shanghai, still in home arrest, but he liked to stay there because he said that it's my country and I have the right to stay here.